Hey guys, it's your girl Samantha here with Black Nation News, and today I wanted to talk about Dusty as Trick Daddy. Dusty Trick Daddy. Like every time I turn around, he is doing something that continues to keep him in the dust category. So apparently, I watched a few other videos of some other commentary from other YouTubers. One was Willie D, and then I also watched one with a guy who I was more aligned with what he said. His channel is called Basic Social. I don't know if there's a whole name of the channel. Basic Social Politics with JDE. So I'm more aligned with how he responded versus Willie D. So I'll tell you guys first what happened. I'll play the video. And then we're going to go over, like, what should have happened. Was it right on the woman's part and Trick Daddy's part and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and start with the video first so you guys know what I'm even talking about. So here we go.
You want to go viral, bitch. Touch me in front of the police out and knock you out. Don't play with me. I'm giving you something. Don't try me like I'm no fuck nigga.
How does that compliment?
Listen what I'm trying to tell you. I do not fucking play. You want to go viral, bitch. Touch me in front of the police out and knock you out. Don't play with me. I'm giving you something. Don't try me like I'm no fuck nigga.
How does that compliment?
Listen what I'm trying to tell you. I do not fucking play.
Okay. So, if y'all are confused about what's going on, it probably means you never went to a black club before and had a guy just feel entitled to your whole body. And y'all know, I know in other videos I've talked about so many different stories of street harassment and guys feeling entitled to me. One time I was dancing with a guy and he was behind me and he had pulled his whole penis out. Like, it was starting to feel weird, so I looked back. His whole dick was out. So, you know, I have seen way more than my share of things. I've gone through way more than I really have signed up for when I go to the club. And that's partly why when you get a certain age, you just don't really have the tolerance or the stomach for it. Like, I don't club at all now. And it's just like, why would I? It's just so immature and childish and aggressive. So basically what happened here was Trick Daddy. He's old as fuck, first of all. I think he's like in his 50s. Y'all know I'm about to go dig in. Let me see how old he is, because I don't like to be giving bad information. Trick Daddy is 100. No, I'm joking. Every time I see him in his news, he is doing something dusty as F. Okay, so Trick Daddy's age. Oh my gosh, you don't know to be my grandfather. Oh no. He is not 46 years old. Oh my goodness, Trick Daddy, what is going on with you? He is a hard 46. He ain't taking care of himself at all. And someone said he had lupus. Okay. I would feel sorry for him if he wasn't always, saying disparaging things to black women or, being violent towards black women, things like that. And I mean, his name Trick Daddy. So he's obviously promoting pimping women, which is usually going to most likely be black women. I think his last song came out in the 90s. I don't know. I don't really listen to rap like that. So I really have no clue when his last good song came out. Oh my gosh, here he is right here looking busted and disgusted. Is that him? My goodness, I don't even recognize him. So he was somewhat attractive a long time ago. And so this is the thing with guys. I guess like they don't realize when they're not a 10. Like they stay rating. I'm only speaking on black guys because I'm pretty sure every other race of guys does this as well, because guys are very physical. So they're always rating women like, oh, she's a 9 or she's a 10, she's a 6 at best. But it's like they can rate us, but they don't have any clue what their rating might be on the scale. So he doesn't realize he's probably like a -5. So he's running around thinking if he pays for some girl to get into a club, he's entitled to her time and probably her body as well. And I'm just like, wow, like, do guys realize, like, you have to usually marry a woman to sleep with her? These are like in the Bible, people waiting till marriage to have sex. So that's a whole marriage. That's a whole marriage. And what comes with marriage usually is a house, You gonna pay some bills. You know, you have courted her for like a few years, and y'all went out to eat. Y'all done stuff. Like, you're not going to pay my way into some stinking ass funky nightclub that I probably had money, obviously, to pay my way into, or wouldn't be there, and then expect me to like give you my time. Like women aren't selling anything. So this is for Willie D, because Willie D, I'm not gonna play this video, but he basically was trying to say that, you know, women should just understand that when guys buy them drinks or pay their way into the club, women should expect them to want something in return. Negative. Like, it's not my job to read your mind or guess what you're wanting me to do. Like, I'm not coming into the club selling anything. I'm just coming, it's one thing if I was like, had a big sign on me saying, I'll give you sex for money, you know, or a drink or an entry into the club. Then if you give me money and I say, oh, no, I'm not going to sleep with you, then it's like, okay, well, I gave that implication, like I implied I was going to do that. But if I'm just a regular woman with my girls, having girls' night, which is what she looked like she was doing, and Trick Daddy's stinking old ass, this is not the first time he's been at a club, so he knows how women really are. Most women are not there to pick up anybody, let alone a washed up has-been rapper who is probably old enough to be her dad. So guys are like always delusional, you know, and I think this is where it comes from with Cynthia G. It's like this black male worship thing she was talking about, because it's like, what planet are you living on? Like, you know, you look crazy. You know, your looks have gone down the toilet, the little bit of looks you did have. And you're sitting here, and I don't feel bad because he sits on here with black women and say like, white women are out here looking good. Black women need to, you know, get our game up and blah, 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 blah. So
These Spanish and these white hoes, they done start getting finer than a motherfucker. Y'all black hoes better tighten up. I'm telling you. Tighten up. Y'all doing all that extra shit for nothing. You're not achieving nothing, bitch. You get your ass done, your titties done, and you're paying $150 to get your makeup done just to go to a local club, bitch. Tighten up, ho. These Spanish and these white hoes is getting very spiffy on y'all. They fuck around and learn how to fry chicken. You all is useless.
you know, you have all kinds of mouth for us, but you want us to be nice for you. No, people like him need to just shut up. He should be having some kind of business going on. I mean, you were rapping at some point. I'm assuming you got at least $1 million, hopefully, out of it. And you should be investing and probably be married. This is usually why you need to be married by this age, because you're old and you're doing stuff, and it's time for you to go to the next level in your life where you're not in the club trying to pick up girls who are young enough to be your daughter or your granddaughter. So with Willie D saying that, like, no ladies, no black ladies, no ladies, nope. I know there's probably some young girls listening to me. Do not. I feel like I'm like you guys' older sister or like that auntie. Do not think that you owe a guy anything just because he paid for a drink or to get you into a entry into a club. If he's offering and you accept, that's his problem. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, ladies, since black guys can't seem, I'm going to say black males, not the black men, since black males can't seem to get their life together and figure out what they're supposed to be doing in life, just don't take shit from them. If he offers you a drink, like, no, I'm good. If he offers you entry into a club, like, nope, I got it. Because most times, a lot of clubs I used to go to, women could get in for free. Because it was like a sausage party otherwise. There were so many guys there trying to get into the club because they're horny. And they're there for like this prey predator type situation. They're there looking for someone to bang for the night. Women are usually there just having fun. And then we're, you know, if we happen to meet the man of our dreams, who we go on to have babies with and marry, that would be great too. You know, like we have like this whole fairy tale in our head. So that's the problem right there, is like women are raised to have one type of ideal about relationships, and men are raised to have another idea, and the two things do not go together. So, you know, of course, I'm not saying that like there's not women out there that's just out there to have some fun or whatever, But no means no. It's that simple. If she says no, she don't want to have fun with you. Maybe she's looking at the check-in for the guy across the room. She's not looking at you. She says no. Don't get into her face. Don't get violent, black males, Dusties. Do not, get all belligerent and angry and pretty much treating us the way you would never treat a white guy, who was doing stuff to you, especially if it's a cop. So, save that smoke for them. Save it for George Zimmerman or, Derek Chauvin or whoever, some crazy white guy who's killed a black child, especially. Do your job and protect and provide. Don't be out here in the streets, in environments that you shouldn't be in to begin with, being a bully, trying to do stuff to women who are minding their business. You offered to pay. You have money, trick daddy. So if you want to pay, you can pay, but you're definitely not going to be like, I'm entitled to your time or this, that, and the other. And, of course, like once you get, because like what Willie D is saying is wrong. People need to raise their black sons to have some sense. If you offer a woman a drink, how much is a drink really? Like $10? That's a cheap hooker rate. Like if you expect me to sleep with you because you bought me a $10 drink, like my God, don't these escorts out here charge like at least $600 an hour or something? Like no. So, just raise your sons to be gentlemen. That's how I raise my sons, to like treat women with respect. If he is feeling her and he likes her and he's like, may I buy you a drink? And she says yes, you guys can go vibing. Like you can see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's kind of like taking a woman out for dinner. And if the relationship doesn't go to the third date, that's just what it is. You don't get to stalk her for the rest of her life because you paid for fucking dinner 10 years ago, so it's just, it just makes me want to vomit when I think about it. It makes me want to throw up. And because, I feel like, we are in a black male worshiping culture, black boys are not really being raised to be men. They're not being held accountable for their basically vulgar behavior. Like that, what he was doing was just, Like, don't put your hands on her. Don't be getting in her face. Don't be cussing her out. I feel like he was probably drunk, but that's not an excuse. And, it's just like, if that was my black son acting like he had no damn sense, I would be like, I did not raise him like that. And honestly, I can't even see my children, any of my sons, being in Trick Daddy's position, looking just washed up and crazy. Like, by his age, I would expect my sons to be married with children and being a husband and a father and doing grown man shit, which is not that. They'll probably be out in the lounge. They probably will be out at a lounge with their wife, or not picking up girls that's old enough to be their grandfather. They will probably be out with their wife at a lounge, even if it's a girlfriend, a longtime partner, whatever. That's what I would see for my son, something more classy. And if you are single and you're just like, oh, I'm out just buying a drink for this girl, like we're kind of vibing, I think she's cute, I buy her a drink, women will let you know if they're interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, she might just be like, I don't have the money, or I don't want to pay for nothing. Like, just be prepared to just buy her a drink, and she may leave with the drink and keep it moving. If you don't have that mentality, if you don't have the coins to be buying drinks for people just willy-nilly, then don't offer. Don't offer. Like, I remember someone telling me once, if you're going to loan money to somebody, especially if it's a family member or a friend, I know everybody's heard this before. So this is the advice I get as a woman. When men are supposed to be the providers, they're supposed to be making more money than women. But the advice I got was, if you are giving money to a friend or a family member, do not expect it back. Basically, give it as a gift. Okay? So they may pay, because that basically, like, people have lost really valuable friendships over people not paying them back. For two reasons. One, if you don't have it, don't give it. Don't give it. Don't. If people ask you, like, can I borrow $100? If you don't have it, just say, I don't have it. You really don't have it. Even if it's in your bank account, but that's like your savings for your emergencies that you have coming up, you do not have it. I stopped that a long time ago, because then you're chasing after your mom or your friend or your sister or your cousins asking for your money back, and they don't have it, because that's why they borrowing from you to begin with. So when you give money to people, give it to them as a gift. the same, I will say, applies to you being in a club with somebody you don't even know, and you definitely probably not dropping $100 on her. But if you're just buying the girl a drink, buy her a drink. You're being a gentleman. You think she's pretty. That's obvious, or you probably wouldn't be buying her a drink. Because me personally, as a woman, we can't read your minds. I never knew, like when I was younger, that a guy was expecting anything from me for buying me. I thought he was just being nice. So it's like she may just think, oh, okay, thanks, because he has money and he just wants to buy the lady a drink. Just thinking he's being a gentleman or whatever. Like, based on how I was raised, I would think he's just being nice. I would not realize, oh, I'm supposed to like put out. I would not think like, oh, I'm supposed to put out because he bought me one drink or got me into a club. Like I said, like when I was going clubbing 100 years ago, I was getting in free. My friends we every single time we got in free. We knew the bouncers. They were happy to have women coming because there was too many guys. There was always more guys than women. And so we just got in free. So it just, it's just, I don't know. It's just like it's just like, no, things are not different. Things are not different. It's 2021. I don't care what anybody says. This behavior from Trick Daddy is unacceptable. You never are allowed to put your hands on a woman because you're bigger. You're supposed to be stronger and you're a protector, not a bully. So, when that girl said no, he should have just kept it pushing. But it's something about these black guys nowadays that are just like, I don't know, feeling entitled to things that they're not entitled to. And they just feeling angry, probably because they haven't had it in a while because they're just not somebody that people want to be with. And so they're like, oh, we're just going to be aggressive and take it out on women. Well, women, I'm telling you now, carry your weapons, arm yourselves because this is unacceptable. And it's sad that you've had to do that. But even back then, I had a lot of guys grab me if I say I'm not interested. They call your name, which is also kind of basically verbal abuse. You're getting yelled at on the way to your car. Like I said, I had the guy pulling the penis out, which gross. Nobody came in for your penis. And yeah. Just stories I like to forget. So the second guy that did his YouTube, I agree with him a lot more. He was saying that basically like that's not acceptable what Trick Daddy was doing. I'll let you hear like a little bit of his clip. 1 second.
Clip. I'm not gonna play the clip. I'll put a link in the description box. Y'all go and check it out. Apparently, according to people that were there and the particular female he had the interaction with, he paid for her and her friend's cover charge to get into the club. I believe it was like $20 or something. And when they didn't want to leave with him, or this particular woman didn't want to leave with him, he got upset and he went in on her. And I asked the question to y'all, is this a definition of a guy who is just going out extremely sad? When you, as a well-known rapper who have a following, find yourself paying a woman's cover charge to get into a club, and then you feel like because you did that she owes you something, there's something seriously wrong there. This ain't it. This ain't it. Now we know that his name is Trick, and maybe he's known to trick off money in real life. Who knows? There's nothing wrong with a guy wanting to use his money to do whatever it is that he wants to do. But when you do a cover charge and you think that woman owes you something because of it, you're only going to make yourself look bad. And I think Trick in this situation didn't have a lot of self-awareness. Now, I'm not sure if he knew of this girl for a while and he decided to do this. But if this is a girl that you don't really know that well, you set yourself up for a humongous L. And this is an L for Trick Dad. I mean, he's probably taken a few L's in his life. But to me, the fact that you're getting upset, allegedly, because this girl didn't want to go home with you, that makes you look extremely thirsty. It makes you look extremely desperate. And it shows that a lot of these guys, and this is supposed to be an OG, they really have lost their way to thirst. and they really don't know how to deal with women the way you think they do. Because all these guys claim they know women, right? They claim up and down they know women. Trick Daddy would probably be the type of guy who will get upset with me for critiquing women and being real with women. He'd probably claim that what I say about women or what other men have said about women, especially on this platform, is bashing. He's probably one of those. But you look at how these guys deal with women in real life. These guys are out here taking L's. They're getting curved. They're going out extremely, extremely bad. And Trick Daddy does not look good in the situation at all, man. Trick Daddy looks thirsty. He's looking like a weirdo. And this has everything to do with him not having self-awareness.
Okay, so basically I completely agree with this male YouTuber slash commentator. I think his name is, I guess, JD Black, Basic Social Politics. I couldn't have said it any better. Like, I feel like it does come from a lack of self-awareness with males. Like, I remember having so many guys that thought they could talk to me, and I'd be looking at them like, I was like offended. Like, why in the world did this guy think he could get with me? Like, are you not looking in the mirror? Are you not looking at how you looked coming in here? And it really just speaks to that black male worshiping culture. Like, somebody, I guess, is gassing his head up or telling him he is something that he is not. In my eyes, I just didn't understand. Like, I'm like, you're dusty, you're old, you don't look, you're not attractive, you look like you don't have any money, etc., etc. And people can say what they want to, but let's be real. Like, why is he trying to talk to someone who's probably young enough to be his daughter? He has, like, I always tell people, men are after sex, women are there for money. Point blank, period. We're all adults here. Let's keep it 100. So just like a guy might look at me and be like, she's not my preference, I want somebody with, white features, or I want a white chick, or I want somebody with some straight hair and blah, 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 and a big ass or whatever. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. So you can't be like, oh, you're just being like, a hoe, or you're being this, or you're being a gold digger. Well, what are you being? Are you being a butt digger? I mean, because you're chasing after butt. So it's like everybody's out there having their goals in mind. And that's just the way things have been for centuries. Men are always going to look at women in this physical way because, psychologically or subconsciously, they're just looking for a mate that they can procreate with. And to me, that makes sense. It's just like, this is what it is. If, like, we want to get really primitive, you're supposed to be having babies. That's why we're able to have babies. The guys are made the way they're made. Women are made the way they're made, so we can come together and create human beings to continue the human race. Very simple stuff, right? So when I think about just what men and women, how they should be interacting with each other, I think about the caveman days and the cave people days when they were in the caves. I don't know why, but I just go back to that because it's a very simplistic ideology of how things worked. Men went out, they were hunters, they were gatherers, they were brutes, they were the ones who protected the family. And the women stayed home with the children. She cooked, she cleaned house, she probably did a little bit of, gardening or farming at the house. But she wasn't away from the children. She stayed with the kids and protected and stayed and just took care of the children. And so, so basically, like, when a guy is out of the house, like, even if you look at like the 60s to 50s or, more of a modern time versus going all the way back to cave people days, men usually left the house and they were the breadwinners, or they brought home the bacon, which of course it seems like nobody's bringing home bacon anymore. But they used to, like, go to work and come home, and they paid all the bills, and the wife was a stay-at-home wife and the mom, and she took care of the kids, and sometimes she worked, but usually she didn't. It was a time where women couldn't even get jobs. They wouldn't even allow women to have certain jobs. So people with the black community talking about gold digger, that's like a concept for ignorant as Dusty, as immature reprobates, because that's, women are supposed to be looking at you to be her provider. You're supposed to be the provider, like, you're the man, right? So to me, you can't, like, gold digging, I guess I feel like it's just kind of like that word hating, which I actually hate that word because everybody calls everything hating. And I'm like, not everything is hating. Some people really just don't like whatever they don't like. It's not I'm jealous of this person or I want to be I'm envious of this. No, I really don't like this person. I just don't like their attitude. I don't like how they look. I don't like their music. I don't like things they've done in the past. Blah 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 blah. Everything's not hating. And everything's not gold digging. If a woman is in a relationship with you, you guys have your jobs that you're there to do. Period. That's just the basics of it. Now, a gold digger, of course, like is someone who's just out there sleeping with a guy, maybe coming around only when she wants some money, and she's like, okay, I'm gotta go. She's just getting her money from all her different guys, and she's keeping it moving. Or, she's usually gonna just be like with you. You could be someone she doesn't even care about, and she's just with you because you have like a lot of money. That's a gold digger. But but you can't call every woman who expects you to be a provider a gold digger. No, busted and dusted and disgusted. Like, that's your job. Just like it's her job to carry a whole baby for like a whole year and get sick and get fat and get stretch marks and love on that baby and breastfeed that baby, have a human hanging off your breast and, basically giving up your life to stay home with the little baby. You're not in your career anymore. Like, all of that is what women do. We're nurturers. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And it's like I feel like lately just guys, black guys in general, I'm going to say black guys because I feel like every other race of guys are doing their jobs, but black guys in general are just like, they're embarrassing. I'm going to say that just off top. And secondly, I feel like they almost want to be the woman. It's almost like they're jealous of what we're doing and they want to be doing what we're doing and they want us to go out and make the money. And the funny thing is, I think black women are fine with that because we're used to doing it. But is it right? No, it's not. It's just not. It just isn't going to. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not going to be okay. It's just kind of like watching America collapse. Like the shit that America tries to do with black people versus the other race, just the stuff they do, it's not going to work. It's not going to be good for you in the end, in the long run. And that's how I look at black relationships. Like, the guys trying to basically become the women. Every time I think about that, I think about the Usher song Trading Places when he was living is he from Atlanta? He was living in Atlanta at the time where there's like a huge number of homosexual, like DL black guys living out there. And I just remember him making this song and he just looked so bi, like he could be bi, like he was kind of like low key telling us he wants to be a woman because he's like, I'm gonna trade places, you do this and I'm gonna do this. And and of course, like I say this in a facetious way, like I kind of feel like I guess I know what he was saying. He wanted her to take control for a night and be the one coming for him and wanting him. And so I say it, but it's like for some reason I think about that song because people did talk about it. Everyone thought he was gay, but anyways, I digress. Like he always dates like these really old women, like he's looking for his mom or something. It's just weird. But anyways, that's not the point. I just feel like, but that's like when I think about that's how black guys are looking. They're whining. They're constantly comparing themselves to black women. And it's like low key, like if you're doing all that, it makes me feel like, do you want to be a black woman? Like, I mean, like Cynthia G says, like, it does make me mad because I do feel like if you're gay or you're ready to swing that rainbow flag, like, I would have so much more respect for you if you just lived in your truth than sitting here pretending that you're straight, pretending that you're a heterosexual guy, but you're whining constantly about what black women get to do or what white men are doing for black women, blah, 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 blah. It's just weird. It's weird to me. If you put it in another shoe, you think about it, like if white women were doing stuff for black guys, say like you had a company. I mean, I can't even put it together because it just doesn't make any sense. Because white women would not be doing shit for black guys because they're women. It just doesn't make any sense. And the stuff they are doing, they're already doing it. Like screwing black guys silly and having kids with them and pretty much doing what women are supposed to do. And they're stepping into the roles of black women and doing them. And am I saying like, oh, we love that they're taking black guys and marrying black guys and having kids with them, whatever, procreating? We don't love it. But at the same time, at least with us, we're like mad at the woman because we want to be that woman. With black guys, I don't feel like they're mad at white men for doing for black women because they want to be that guy doing for us. I feel like they're mad because they want the white men doing those things for them. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I really don't want this video to be too long. it's kind of just a depressing subject to even talk about, but it's just something we do have to talk about because I have seen way too many videos, and I know this has been going on for a long time, but just like police brutality, I feel like now that we have smartphones, people are able to record things and get the message out there, like this is what's happening all the time out here. Like for people who don't go clubbing or just live a completely different lifestyle, do not know that black males are out there like bullying black women into doing stuff with them because they bought them a drink or he paid $20 to get her in the club. like I have no clue what he expected from her. And like the guy said, the black social, I forgot, JD Black, basic social politics. Like you said, like it's just kind of like, is this a definition of a man that's lacking self-awareness and just kind of on his way out and doesn't really realize it? And maybe he just doesn't have those people around him to tell him like, man, like, dude, you need to go sit down. Like, is he just not having that direction, that mentor of an older man to say like, you know, like, come on, man, you need to kind of like chill out, settle down, go sit down somewhere. Your trick daddy days are over, obviously, because the women are running from you. I mean, I feel like at some point women probably were running to him when he was younger, maybe, and when he was in his prime, maybe had money, things like that. That's great. But it's like, you should know by now you're kind of up there in age, you know, and what do they call you, kind of long in the tooth, and you just like, it's time to just cut your losses and move. And this is why people settle down. This is why people settle down. You know, they should at some point get tired of the chasing after booty, chasing after money, chasing. Like, just sit down, settle down, find someone who loves you for you, and live your best life. Travel with your partner, your significant other, raise your beautiful children in the suburbs. I don't know, you know, and I feel like that's the end of the story. Like, I don't really know what. I'm kind of just tired of the culture of the media. Like, it's so shallow, you know, and people are like, I think people really are confused about what the end game is supposed to be. And it's like, the end game is just to grow old with that one person. That's it. You know, nothing spectacular about it. That's the beautiful thing. That's commendable. When I hear that people have been married like 60 some years, I'm like, wow, like I can't even imagine. And that's what all my goal was to be married forever. So that's supposed to be, I think, the last, like the real end result is it's not to be 50 years old still at the club, grabbing girls who are young enough to be your daughter, yelling at her, getting abusive because she doesn't want to talk to you because you're old enough to be her father and she's grossed out by you. It's just like, no, it's just sad. And it would be I would say it would be sad if he wasn't being like aggressive, because it's kind of scary actually when you're like a woman. Like, she may have swung on him, but like, real talk, guys, like, women aren't supposed to be knowing how to fight, and we're not supposed to be out here fighting because we're not protectors. So again, that's why I say, women, just carry your mace, carry, you know, what you need to carry to be protected while you're out here, because it's real out here. Guys are really losing their minds. They are really losing their minds. I don't know why. The only thing I can think is because of the male worshiping culture that Cynthia G talks about. That's the only explanation I can think of. I just don't, you know, and I feel like it's maybe, that's really the only thing I can think of. Honestly, I don't understand. Otherwise, I don't understand it. I don't understand what they're doing. So you guys leave the comments below. Let me know what you think about Trick Daddy being out here being a whole trick. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.